Okay, so the things that you're going to need for this simple experiment will be like if you have a stamp pad, that's great. You know, it's already pre-inked for you. But if you don't have a stamp pad, you have FW ink or Higgins ink or whatever. You could use that, and I'll show you how to make your own stamp pad. And you'll need an X-Acto knife, and you're going to need some, if you have cork lying around, that's a great material to work with. If you don't have any cork lying around, if you have like an art gum eraser, you could use that. Or if you have one of these kind of erasers, you could use that as well because it's easily, you could cut into them very easily. And if you have like some scrap illustration boards or chipboards lying around, you could use that. I'll show you how to use that. And also, if you don't have like this stamp pad, I just made my own uh, stamp pad using a paper towel that I folded up into like, you know, kind of thickly with 4 layers or so. And I taped it around the side so it doesn't fall apart on me. Let's see, what else would you need? You could also do a lot of these things, experiment and put them into your sketchbooks. Or you could do it on Bristol paper, or you could do it on illustration board or whatever. Um, the examples that I shared with you earlier are all done on Arches watercolor paper. Okay. Okay, so now with a simple stamp pad method, it's pretty easy. All you do, stamp and stamp and stamp. But the cool thing with this, you could take advantage of it, is that once you stamp it, you could control the values. Control the values. You get like a progression or a sequence. It's kind of neat. Also with stamps, play around with the scale. Get some smaller things going on. Let's try this. Okay. Let's see, what else can I share with you? Even with the illustration board or chipboard, you could cut it down. Which I did earlier. You need, if you want to get some lines, you could do things like that. If you need to get smaller lines, cut a smaller one. And do that. Let's see, what else? Okay. Here's that eraser that I was sharing with you earlier. That's kind of a cool shape. That worked out pretty good. That worked out pretty good. Okay, so that's that. And the cool thing with things that can be carved into, like for instance, this one right here, this happens to be an art gum eraser. And so if I wanted to get like a triangular shape, I could just go ahead and draw it out. And then I need to cut away some of this excess stuff. That's why I drew all the way around so I could see how much I want to remove. And let me do it really quickly. Probably do a sloppy job, but at least you'll get the idea. So I'm cutting in. See how easy it is to cut into this thing? Just cutting into it, cutting into it, cutting, 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 cutting. And now I'm peeling it away, peeling it away. Of course, you should be a little bit more careful than me. I'm just kind of going through this very quickly for demo purposes. Just for demo purposes. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Can we see that? See? See? Okay. Clean this up a little bit. Let's see what happens. Whoa, that's cool. I love that. Try to align it up very carefully. Maybe you could get something interesting. Okay, I think I'll do some stamping on this old drawing that I did in my sketchbook. Give her like a polka dot shirt or blouse. Maybe I could try to control that a little bit. Yeah, that worked. It's okay. Maybe I'll have to do it again over here. Let's see. Like that. Let's see, how about over here? That. That. Maybe I'll do one more. About over, right around there. Great. I like that. Okay, so I'm back. Once again, if you have a stamp pad, that's great because you don't have to, there's no muss, no fuss. Anyway, but sometimes we don't have everything that we need on hand, with us. So we have to improvise or make do. And so I took a piece of a paper towel, wrapped it up several times, and taped it off so it doesn't fall apart on me. And I don't want this ink to drip all over the place, so I'm going to put it on top of a, what do you call it, paper plate. And I'm just going to wet my paper towel with FW ink, or if you have Higgins, try that. Can you see that? Okay, now that's my stamp pad. That's my stamp pad. So remember this guy right here? Just gonna dip it in there and let's see what happens. Whoa, it worked. See, class, it worked. There you go. Ooh, the lighter values. The lighter values. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try it with this one right here. Let's see what happens. Yep, it worked. I mean, I knew it would work, but and then you get the lighter values, of course. But you know what? One of the fun things about this stamping business, I think, like, see how the textures of your source material seems to repeat itself? Sometimes that could be you could take advantage of that. You know? Sometimes they could be, like, if you line it up carefully, maybe you could get some cool horizontals. Hey guys, can you hear the sirens? Whoa. Yeah, interesting. Those are my dogs barking too. They're howling. They always do that when they hear sirens. Sorry about that. I didn't plan it. Okay, so we did that part. I showed you how to carve into it. And I'm going to stop this for the time being.